being the artist is being the professional athlete.
Right.
Being the producer is we're sort of the professional athletes of sitting behind a computer and staying in the studio for 10 hours and holding our pee. You know, like I can hold my piss longer than anybody, just sitting there.
For some reason, on this Espresso song, you find this loop and you're like, cool.
I've played so many guitar parts and bass parts and written lyrics. Like the last thing I'm worried about is like somebody, ha ha, not a real producer, ha ha, got you. Like, okay.
Yeah. I feel like I could write a hit now. I feel like I could just.
I feel like I gotta go write one.
I can just go upstairs and just like do it. You know, it doesn't sound that hard. All right, listen, we are at Perch Studios with the man, Julian Bunetta. I think this man has collectively 30 billion streams, Grammy nominated, multiple #1 hits. I think we got to give it up for Julian Bunetta.
Thank you.
In the building. First off, this is a beautiful space.
Thank you.
This is like, I mean, it must be nice to have a comfortable, homey space to work in and also hear the product of that end up on the radio over and over.
Spaces are, I read a book by David Byrne.
Oh, yeah.
That someone got me. And in this first chapter, I think he talks about it's not related to the house, but when you're writing a song, like, you're writing about what you're going through and whatever, but you're subconsciously somewhere in the process of writing the song, you're thinking about where that song is going to be played. You know, whether it's like in a little fucking sweaty club or if it's like, 50,000 people is in a stadium or where. But I also think that like the space that you make it has a lot to do with like putting the energy into things. Sometimes it's like in a little like basement in New York and you can kind of hear it. You can kind of feel what people were sort of making.
Yeah. Do you find it like, because, I mean, you probably have the privilege of working where you want to work, but does that influence you? Like if you're in a bigger studio, a lot of people as opposed to like an intimate, does that affect the process?
I think so sometimes. I mean, sometimes we'll go into different places at writing camps and the room feels like just too big. So you kind of like got to make it feel smaller and close it off. Like, spaces are weird. Like I don't feel creative writing songs in a traditional studio. Maybe I'm just out of practice with it, but I don't know.
So how does that work? Because you do a lot of writing camps, right? And so
it's at houses.
At houses, so it's just
rent houses, living rooms. Yeah. I feel like there's something about just the feeling of a living room where people just kind of like, I don't know. It's twofold. Like in a studio, people know it's like, okay, we've come to work. We're at a studio. We're paying hourly for it. Yeah. Which is one thing, and then there's another thing where if you're like at sort of a house, it's relaxing and it might allow for more sort of intimate conversations. Right. It's different.
Well, and also it feels like in a house too, like the comfort means there's a lot of casual interactions that could lead to more inspiration, more songwriting material.
Totally. It's just it's everybody's different preference. Some people like a Strat, some people like a Taylor.
That's right.
Whatever.
That's right.
Whatever.
And you grew up in Calabasas. You're still like and you very musical family, right? Dad, uncle. Yeah. Had you on music early, got you into production, and
my dad is I guess once a producer, always a producer.
There you go.
So my dad is a producer. Yeah. My uncle was a manager and had a record label, and I just grew up in as my fish tank, grew up going to Conway Studios, like after school and different studios in the Valley, get picked up, dropped off, do my homework in the studio, watch, kind of eat dinner with the musicians and then go home. And so it was like my secret little place that like I knew about that my friends didn't know about the studio. It was like this, like now everybody knows about the studio because the studio is your living room, it's your bedroom, it's everywhere.
You don't go anywhere.
And it's a very special, and I think the reason why so many people make music now is because there's something about, whether it's your bedroom, it's like when people are recording, when there's creativity going somewhere, it's an art studio or a music studio, it's like it's a sacred space.
That's right.
and it's like a cool place that not everybody can just come into, and it's like and there's sort of like a code of sort of, I don't know, behavior or appreciation for what's going on, and honoring whatever's going on there that is like a special thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it makes sense. And
feel safe.
Yeah,
in the studio.
right. If you, when you make it,
to be like creating, it's a safe space to do stuff.
Yeah, and you started off playing drums.
Yep, I'm a drummer.
Yeah, but you played all the instruments, man.
I play all the instruments, but drums is the one that I could actually like get up in front of people and not feel scared and wouldn't mess up. Like I'm not gonna get up in front of 10,000 people and like play piano and sing. Like no way. Even guitar, like I'm just gonna forget how to play a G chord if there's people in front of me. But like with drums, I can do it.
Who are the drummers that you looked up to or look up to? Like,
my dad was the first one because he's a sick drummer, great pocket. Jeff Porcaro.
And who's Jeff Porcaro? Maybe
Jeff
name
Porcaro,
the bands that they like.
Yeah, Jeff Porcaro was in Toto.
Oh.
But he also was like one of the premier session players on everything.
Oh.
Just freaking everything. Steve Gadd, Bernard Purdy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but then like I always sort of go session drummer first.
Yeah.
But I mean, John Bonham, Ringo, but like there's just so many.
The
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. Stevie
Wonder's a great
speak
drummer.
on it. Yeah.
There's so many, and it like I think the studio drummers that I admired so much is because they had such fluid styles,
right.
And that was more me. That spoke more to me because maybe I have a defined style or sound, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But some of the other like Stevie and John Bonham, they have such a distinct, and Ringo style of playing that is so awesome that I always kind of envied too. Like that it's just they just come in and they just do their thing and they have their feel and they play their way.
Right,
you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
like
yes.
with producers too. There's some producers that have a sound that you can emulate and imitate, and that's like the highest form of flattery, right?
Certainly.
Is it called imitation? Is the highest form of flattery?
Yeah.
And then there's ones that you wouldn't know that they did it,
That's right.
and they blend in the background and they're sort of ubiquitous, and both are necessary and both are awesome.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you fall into the latter category for sure. The discography's all over. It's hard to like pin something to you, but I believe I remember you saying your early influence was hip hop when it came to production.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that was like
Dre and Timbaland.
Yeah.
You know, and they just had such a style and a sound and a thing, and I always sort of hoped for that and tried for that, but nothing ever. Maybe it was a combination of like not having success there with something that was like, oh, here's your sound now you do that, this is what we want from you, and it just didn't happen. Or maybe I just didn't have whatever, I didn't have like a sound or a thing that defined me, and that's just the way it went, you know. Or Pharrell, obviously, in the Neptunes. I mean, Swiss Beats, like had all such a distinct, amazing sound.
Yeah. Do you feel like, is there, despite it not being obvious in the production, do you feel hip hop influence you today? Is there something that you filter through that like doesn't come out on the end as hip hop, but is like an approach that you got from that world?
Yeah, I mean, I was so sure that I was gonna be like Scott Storch.
Yeah.
Before, like pre-Scott Storch.
Sure.
I was like, I'm gonna be like the fucking hip hop producer. It's gonna be me. And you know, I worked with a lot of hip hop stuff. This is like, I'm talking 2002, 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like super early. I'm 19, 20, 21. You know.
Yeah.
And it just didn't shake out that way. I was making some money, but it just wasn't quite connecting. Maybe my shit sucked, you know. that could possibly be it, or maybe I just didn't, you know. But I had a good friend, a close friend of mine named Dala, who was a rapper from Atlanta. On the way to my studio, got killed, and it just changed everything. I was like, you know, it was really heavy.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't know if I'm built for this.
Right.
Like.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And then kind of was like, okay, like And then it just so happened that a couple years later, X Factor came in and like One Direction came in, and I was like, this was not what I thought I was going to do with music.
Right.
But fuck it, let's go.
And now before that, though, you were at Berkeley, right? But you finish early because you get a publishing deal. This is before X Factor?
So Berkeley, right out of high school, I went to Berkeley School of Music for a year, and it was great. Had 1 year, and I met a bunch of great friends there, had the best time, and then came back, and I got a publishing deal with Warner Chappell. A lady there named Judy Stakey heard some of my tracks that I was doing for different writers that were older. They would like give me a cassette tape and cassette tape. They would give me a cassette of just them playing on piano, and then I'd sort of learn the chords and then produce it and hire a demo singer, hire a guitar player. And the way I learned to kind of play guitar and piano and get better at it was because I didn't want to, of the $500 I was making for the demo, didn't want to have to pay $100 to everybody. So like, all right, I'm just gonna figure this out on my own. Just did that. And so, anyways, got the publishing deal, and then that sort of set me on the path to learning how to write songs. Because I never like sang or wrote lyrics. I was just making beats, just making music in my bedroom, like everything from like drum and bass to hip hop to whatever, R&B covers, and then but getting the publishing deal and being around songwriters and like learning how to write songs, then sent me on the path of learning how to write a chorus and learning how to write melody and learning how to write lyric, which was a totally different kind of diversion from where I
So where were you at in your career when X Factor comes along? And for X Factor, you're basically a one-man production team, right? Writing 7 songs a week or? Yeah,
X Factor was like Navy SEAL production training. Like we would have to do sometimes in 3-4 days, 8, 9 full productions of various like covers of different, and then there'd be like, oh, you got to cut this short and then you got to speed it up because you're with television and they're blocking it and they're doing choreography and then they're seeing the show length, and so you're having to like, it was insane, but it was the best possible like training of just being able to get something done, find the sound, do the thing. And so that was like you didn't have to do it that way, but you could hire out guitar players, but again, I was just like,
I'm gonna do this.
I'm just gonna do it. I can just do it faster.
Right.
And that was in 2000. I had already been like in the business professionally for almost a decade at that point. It's like 2011.
Okay.
So I had like done various stuff. I'd worked on different artists and things, but X Factor came in when I sort of was just like, I thought I was gonna have Grammys by the time I was 23. You know what I mean? I was like, I know how to play drums. I'm a boy wonder drummer.
I got this.
I got this easy. And then all of a sudden, get the publishing deal. I'm 19, and then time goes by. No hits. I'm getting cuts and placements, but like nothing. I'm making a living, but nothing's like going. I'm like, fuck. And that opportunity came, and I don't know why I really wanted to do it. I actually do know why I wanted to do it. My friend Savin had went and done it the year before. He went to the UK. He was a vocal producer on it, and he went, and the band that was on that year was One Direction.
Okay.
And then he was so close to the band, he got off, and then he wrote What Makes You Beautiful.
Oh, big, yeah.
And I remember the first time he played it for me in the studio, and I was just like, the blood, that feeling when the blood drains from your face and someone plays you some shit, and you're just like,
damn it. Should have been me.
I know, right? And so then when they asked me to do it, I was like, oh yeah, I could potentially like be working with the next whatever.
There you go.
Like, yeah, and it was really good money, and it was just a fun opportunity to like do a sort of musical sabbatical. Get paid to just like learn covers.
Right.
you know, so that's kind of when that came.
So you're like paid to train. You're honing your craft,
Exactly.
right? While also putting out quality output. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like,
And being pushed to like, you know, you got to.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And without that 10 years, you know, or so or more of like cuts and being in the industry, you might not be in a position to make that happen.
Yeah, no. Yeah. The other people that were on there were like, the first year was like John Shanks. But it was like, they weren't just getting amateur hour in there.
No way, yeah. Because there's a lot of, obviously, because we have so much access to like people's success, we see them at their peak success, right? That's when we get exposed to them. So that it feels like there's a myth of like, it happens quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But this was,
you know, though, for some people it does.
Oh, really? Yeah.
For some people it does. I mean, I've seen people that just kind of came out to LA and within 2-3 years were just working with just at the top, just rocket shit.
And what do you think that like, so?
That would be, I mean, both present their own challenges. That would be really difficult. It's really difficult for it to take you 10, 15 years to get something really successful because you have to just keep persevering, all the self-doubts, all the things. But it would be also really difficult to have it come immediately because you might not know how or why, and it might be really hard to repeat it.
There you go.
And then all the expectation that happens after you have a hit, you can't help but have an expectation that the next stuff you work on, you compare it. Is it as good as this? Is it the? And if you haven't, maybe you haven't set good habits about like how your work ethic or how you save files, or you haven't even developed like a process of how you work.
Right.
So it can be a really tough thing to have it come immediately too.
Yep.
You know.
This is also reminding me of friends I know who got in the room, had a big song, and then just like the pressure to match that.
Oh, dude, like, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's you already get that pressure. Even if it takes you 15 years to get one, it's still hard to deal with.
Yeah. Right. It never goes away.
It never goes away.
Yeah. But if you don't have a foundation, it's even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to X Factor, and that's how you connect with One Direction. What is the process of writing for them One Direction? Are you in the room with them? Are you doing it and then giving it to them? And
I mean, it was all different ways. Like they when they first came off the show, they were on just a contestants on a TV show,
right?
You know, and so I think the first record probably they might not have had any contribution in. I wasn't there for the first record.
Yeah.
The second record, I submitted songs and got a couple songs on there and produced a couple, and then that's when I met them.
Oh, okay.
And through recording the vocals with them, and then
because you were a vocal producer, right?
I wasn't a vocal producer on the X Factor. I was actual producer.
Okay.
But after doing my stint on the X Factor, it was Simon Cowell's label who was doing the X Factor, and they also were A&Ring One Direction. So the guy I was working with, who was an A&R at the time, named Tyler Brown, we worked together on the show the first year, and they said, "Hey, we're making One Direction's second album.
Okay.
You want to write songs for it?" And I was like, "How many albums did the first record sell? 6 million? Yeah, like I'll write some songs for that for sure."
Yeah.
So that was the first time I had sort of tried writing songs for just like a boy band.
Okay.
And so me and John Ryan and Jamie Scott, he was like, "I want to put you together with this guy, Jamie Scott." And I was like, "Cool, I want to bring in my young writer, John Ryan." And we had 2 days and we wrote 2 songs that got on the second record.
Okay. What were those songs?
The one was called Come On, Come On, and one was called She's Not Afraid.
Okay.
And I got another one called I Loved You First, and there's one I produced called They Don't Know About Us.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to meet the band and got to like interact with them, recording their vocals and producing that up, and got to know them.
Yeah.
So then when I went into the third record, they were now 18, 19, 20, and we're like, "We want to write some tunes." And I was like, "Cool, I'll write with you, let's do it." And so me and John flew out to London for a week and just wrote with the band. And we wrote, it was like the most crazy sort of week. We wrote back-to-back days. It was like all the singles from the record in 5 days.
Comes, right? Yeah.
Story of My Life, Midnight Memories, the song You and I, best song ever. Like those 4 songs came in 5 days. Like bam, 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 bam. It was just like the most crazy chemistry, magical, like life-changing week of my life.
The stuff they tell you about, like
it actually happened.
It actually happened.
It actually happened. It was just like,
oh
shit.
Okay.
You know, and then after that, you know, we'd go out and we'd write. Then we'd all write together. And like they became really great songwriters. They became great artists. They, you know, they all. I mean, they all can do it for real.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I mean, they learned under. I'm not saying I'm some of the best, but like Savin and Rami, like those guys are some of the best songwriters, and they learned from them. They learned from John. They learned from me, and they were writing with other people at the time. I mean, they were working with a lot of other people while we were working on those records. They were also going off and writing with other great songwriters, and they were sponging it up, and they're great.
I mean, I don't. It's hard to think of a lot of other bands where the individual members went on to have like really good success, strong projects, strong singles. Like it's, you know, they're out there, but that seems rare. Like that does seem like an actual
like legitimate hits from most of the band.
Yeah.
And still rolling. Like
right.
It's pretty astounding.
Yeah.
Like actually what they did.
Especially something that came together on like a show, which you always think is this manufactured, like, you know, this fake. You just put this band together. It's like, you know.
I don't know if there's anything fake about like 50,000 people, you know, screaming choruses.
Yeah. Those streams are real. You know, those concerts, the audience, the concert is very real.
The merch is real.
The merch sales are real. Yeah.
And also, what's really real too is just like it's easy to, you know, just be like, oh, I could do that. I could do. Like nobody knows what the grind of what those guys were doing, day in, day out. 5 albums, 5 tours, and what they still do. Like the pressure, the discipline. Like, dude,
the discipline.
Oh that's God.
Yeah.
They're professional athletes. You know what I mean? Like, to being the artist is being the professional athlete. Being the producer is we're sort of the professional athletes of sitting behind a computer and staying in the studio for 10 hours and holding our pee. You know, like I can hold my piss longer than anybody, just sitting there. Like I'm that professional athlete, but I am not the artist going out there and just interviews and meeting people and remembering names and remembering the city you're in and going out and entertaining, and it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. Nothing fake about that.
No, agreed. And I mean, so the chemistry is so good that, I mean, you go on to produce and write with, is it all the members? Three of the members? Definitely. Like.
So, yeah,
definitely Liam.
Yep,
Harry,
Liam,
right?
Louis, Harry.
Louis,
Now the only I didn't have any Zayn solo stuff.
Zayn, okay, yeah.
But Zayn's a beast.
Yeah, but everybody is still wanted to work with you after that. There's the genuine relationship and connection where.
Yeah, and I'm still friends with all of them.
Yeah.
Like, any of them call me. If I call any of them, I'll pick up the phone. It's great.
That's awesome. And so, all right, so you've got crazy numbers with One Direction. Like, what's next after that? What are you working on? Do you put the publishing company together? Do you start, like, how do you expand your, like, you as a writer, as a brand, you know? And it's easier to get in rooms, but, like, what are you thinking about at that point?
Yeah.
Because they go on hiatus, right?
They go on hiatus, and I worked with Niall after that, and then that's kind of right about the time I met my wife, and I started going back and forth to Nashville.
Okay.
And I had been going to Nashville a decent amount because my uncle lived there, and I had early on in my career, my publisher, I'm so obsessed with writing camps because the first thing I ever did when I got signed to Warner Chappell is it was 2001, and my publisher Judy Stakey at the time created a writing camp, and I'd never heard of it before, and it was so new in 2001. It was so brand new, and she got 2 writers from Atlanta, 2 writers from New York, LA, London, and we all went to Big Bear, and we all were in like 3 different cabins, and we all wrote. So I'm writing with like totally different, like Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, and then Tim Nichols from Nashville, and like all these different people. And it was like, at 19, it was such a formative experience for me to be around all these people. Like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. This is awesome. Yeah. And so then I started throwing writing camps, like started kind of during the One Direction stuff, and then started like putting together these writing camps all through. And anyways, diversion. Met my wife after One Direction happens. Met my wife. Started going to Nashville, and then started spending a lot of time there and kind of revisiting the writers that I knew from a long time ago and the music, and was spending more time there, and then eventually moved there in 2017. And then I started working on country stuff. Started working with Thomas Rhett, and started having a lot of fun just bringing my sauce to country. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And so eventually.
And in that time, that time, my brother and I and John started Big Family Publishing.
Okay,
that was yes, that was in 2017 maybe. I don't even remember. Okay. But the first person we signed was John Ryan, and that worked. And then John Ryan was like, "Hey, you should meet my friend Teddy Geiger," and we signed Teddy. Okay. And then Teddy wrote all the Shawn Mendes stuff, and then we're like, "Oh wow, like we're publishers! Wow!" Yeah. And we signed a duo called After Hours, and then we started. Then 2017 we signed Too Fresh, and then we start like I've become a publisher now.
Yeah.
And I personally was not conscious of like building the brand. Sure. That's more, I think our brand just kind of became like it was the thing that I kind of didn't like the most when I was younger, growing up out here in Calabasas with nobody here, and all my friends are in the city, and I'm out here and like no one's around. But then that sort of became the thing that people liked, is coming out here where no one was around. The thing that I hated was like being out here alone and not being in the city and being cool and actually became the thing that became cool.
They're trying to get away from that, and they're like, oh, it's so nice and quiet.
And it just sort of happened out of circumstance. Yeah. Which is really interesting.
Yeah. The writing thing, you're doing a lot of writing camps. And is this how you meet Sabrina? Is this the writing camp situation, or?
No, Sabrina would throw writing camps.
She would throw writing camps.
But that was after we met.
Okay.
We first met. She came to Nashville to write. We had 2 days to write. She had, I don't know why she wanted to write with me. Maybe we had mutual friends.
You might know what you're doing.
Well,
a little track record happening there.
Though there was a big chunk between the end of sort of One Direction and the Nile stuff to the new sort of wave of things. There was a lot of other, a lot of other people that were having a lot bigger hits in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah. But we had mutual friends. I wanted to work with her. She wanted to work with me. Yeah. We came together. We had 2 days, and she came to Nashville.
Okay.
And then.
And then there's a writing camp in Paris where Espresso.
Yep, that was Paris, but that was 2 years later.
So it was a while after.
So we first wrote in 2021.
Nonsense, is that?
Nonsense was the first song, and it was another. I feel like it was another one of those little magic moments. Like the first day, we're kind of in there hanging out. We kind of like plunked around on the piano, but didn't like do much. Just talked, got to know each other. Yeah. And the second day, nonsense. And then it was like, oh.
How does that come about? How do you like? I mean, the song is so unique, man. But like, how do you get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna say all this shit in the mic?
I think you just feed off the energy. What a producer's job is to feed whatever the energy is in the room, and if you know, and just, I don't know, it's a chemistry thing. With some people you write ballads, with some people you write up-tempo, with some people you write both. But it just so happened that day, however the three of us were put together, we all she was in a mood, I was in, however it worked. Yeah. That's what it was. And sometimes, you know, people will go, oh, we can't do this. This is too...
Right.
Let's be serious now. Uh-huh. You know, and can derail maybe a good idea, but that didn't happen that day. And she wasn't doing it. She wasn't like, no, we can't do this.
Yeah.
She was like...
All in.
Yeah.
All in on the nonsense.
Yeah. And then that just... I don't know. It happened, and then, you know, that song In a Vacuum is nothing without her going out and doing the outros.
The outros every
night,
tour,
every city,
different ones for every city, and coming up with like
there had to be 100.
Yeah, unique ones for each place.
Every single one.
Every single time. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. But we did a couple camps in between there. We did like an upstate New York one. Oh, cool. But yeah, Paris.
Yeah.
Paris camp.
So you know, everyone wants to know, especially producers.
Yeah.
You know, you're a musician, you play the instruments, you've produced, you know, you've probably played the instruments, all the instruments on a track, right?
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason, on this Espresso song, you find this loop, and you're like, cool, and y'all make a hit out of this. So why are you comfortable with just the loop? What about the process lets you end there for that particular?
Well, sometimes you just... I mean, it was just kind of sometimes it's out of necessity. You're like, pull up a keyboard, and you're like, I hate this sound, next sound. And after 3 sounds, you're like, let me go to Splice, see if there's a sound that I like. Yeah. And then I heard I was like, oh, okay, I like this, let's start here.
Right.
Like, it was that sort of simple. And then kind of, you know, you just hear something and...
Yeah. Was there intention to change it? Was it like a demo that was supposed to be like... And then you're going to do it, or you were just like, this works, this is...
I've played so many guitar parts and bass parts and written lyrics. Like, the last thing I'm worried about is, like, somebody, not a real producer. Got you. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah. Wait, let's go through the discography real quick.
Me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
And it was just like, cool, this is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you have an auto session player there for you. Like,
yeah.
What's the difference between people that have a guitar player come and say, play me some licks?
That's right.
You know, it was just such a great tool, and it felt great. And then I reharmonized it. Like, I put new bass notes under it that weren't on the original guitar loop. It was a different chordal thing.
Yeah.
And it just worked, and it just and it made us all feel away, and then off to the races.
There you go. And you talk about this a lot, where it's like the ego part of like putting as a producer, right, to take yourself out of it, and sometimes even like the criticism of right, as opposed to serving the song. I feel like I've heard you talk about this, like you can't be too precious about your part in the process.
I don't think that's the job of the producer. Yeah. I mean, that's my personal ethos, is like you serve the song, you serve the artist. I'm not trying to serve my brand. Yeah. Your brand, whatever your brand is, like, it's probably going to be dead in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because you are, you know. But what does live on is a song.
Is the song.
A song lives so far beyond the creator's life.
Right.
And so far beyond the brand of the person.
Right.
Like, in 100 years... Like, I Will Always Love You will be here.
That's right.
In 1,000 years, it will always be here.
Yeah.
But even when people don't even know who Dolly or Whitney are,
that's right,
they'll know the song.
And how much will they be like the process? Like, oh no, this is not a song because we found out they, you know.
Nobody's even gonna know how. It's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is a great song.
Yeah.
And whatever means it takes to get there, if it's, you taking a month and crafting it note by note, word by word, or you put lyrics in Chat GPT, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You just make the best possible song, and that will live on and cut through time and space. Yeah. And everything else, to me personally, is irrelevant. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's a song.
And Teddy Swims is an artist you've produced who you were showing earlier. There's these two songs, and the process is completely different. You never know from listening to them, right? One is a little bit more.
Right, which one's Splice and which one isn't? Guess the Splice.
Yeah, guess which one you. Yeah. I don't think anyone would be able to listen to them and know one way or the other, right? So your process, what in your process says, oh, this one, right? These make sense. This is loops, and I'm going to add this little sauce. And on this one, I got to play every instrument. I gotta,
For me, it's just circumstance. It's just whatever is closest sometimes, and whatever comes first. Sure. Like, I might pick up a guitar and the sound is there and I get the part, and if it's not coming in 10 minutes, I might go to keys and just wherever it just is, whatever the first thing that pings my little inner bell. Mm-hmm. It goes, that's the thing, keep going in this direction. Mm-hmm. And if the first thing I go to, a lot of times the first thing I'll go to is Splice, and I don't find anything. So then I just go to the keys and play it, and I find it there. Right. Or I might start on guitar and be like, oh yeah, that's it. It's just another tool in the arsenal. Yeah. No different going piano, go to your drums, you go to your guitar, you go to your Splice, you go to, Yeah. And so with the Teddy stuff, Lose Control has 0 Splice loops. I'm sure I took a kick. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I even didn't. I think I didn't. I think it's those drums up there. Mm-hmm. Played the guitar solo. It's live keys. Like, that's all live and played. Yeah. And
so it's just a path of inspiration. It just is like, like you said, sending that bell off.
Yeah.
If you find a loop that makes that thing ding.
Yeah. Why would you second guess it?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Like, being precious about the process. Like, it's not.
It happens every way. Like, especially there's some people that have a process of making stuff, and they sit down and they have their go-tos. Me, sort of having so much time doing it and being with different people, I learned different ways. I picked up little things from different older producers, older songwriters. I picked up things from the younger guys I've worked with, and you just create your own working tool belt, right? You're like, oh, I got my tape measure here, I got my hammer back here, I got my screwdriver here, and it's just whatever your go-to is to build the house.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Right.
Mine just, it can happen any way. It can happen from a lyric first. Yeah. That's what you really learn in country, is it starts with a title a lot of the time.
Oh, interesting. So someone comes up with a title and says, let's write a song that makes sense for this.
Yeah, people sit around and be like, cool, here's a couple titles I got. And you'll say the title, and then you'll give the synopsis of how you turn the lyric into something clever. So what if it's called, like, Broken Glass or whatever? And okay, well, what about it? Like, okay, well, I think the story would be like, my heart broken glass, but then there's some twist about how a beer glass and the glass, and it's like, you go, oh, I get it, cool. Or, that's a shit example. But point is, a lot of times you start with the title first, and you see how you can do the double entendre of the title, and you go, the guy gets the girl, but then, oh, cool. And then someone will say, what about this title? And then everybody kind of be like, cool, let's go with that title. Let's write that. And you kind of start,
that's a fascinating process.
Yeah, because a lot of country music, it's so lyric-driven and it's story-driven. So if you know where you're trying to get, if you know the bullseye to hit, and you start with that, you can sort of walk back how you get there.
Right. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. So what do you do when, so you're looking through your tools, you're playing piano, nothing's coming to you. Nothing in the music world is coming to you. The chords aren't coming. There's no loops that inspire, right? What do you do? What's the thing that...
Just smash your laptop.
Just
kick it.
Just kick it down the hill. Throw it off the beautiful mountains of Calabasas.
I mean, what do you do? I don't know.
Is it a problem for you? Is it like, is there something you do, art, walk, that gets you back in, or gets ideas to come back outside of the musical environment?
Yeah, I mean, going for a walk, if people are down to go for a walk, is great. Or just like putting everything down and just talking.
Yeah.
A lot of songs have come from just talking.
Yeah.
Just kind of like forgetting that we're in here writing a song, and then somebody says something, like, that's a good idea. Let's do that. You know,
totally.
It's like you see it when you don't look for it.
Yeah,
whatever. It's like
I mean, you've had to have songs that have come about because of that, right? Like
totally. Like Night Changes from One Direction just was like a whole. I don't even know if I can tell the story. No reason not to, I guess. But when we were making a lot of the One Direction stuff, Jamie had kids. John and I didn't have kids, and we were in London. And so he would go to bed with the kids and wake up early with the kids. And John and I would stay up all night. And so he'd leave us at 10 at night, and then he'd come back at 7 in the morning, and we'd play him where we had gotten on the song. And a lot of times, it would just be a completely different song when he came back in the next morning. It started as like a 4 on the floor thing, and then it turned into like a halftime, totally different production. And he was just like, he started calling us the Night Changers. Just as a joke. And he's like, you know, and so we're just...
That's good.
Yeah, and then we started singing, we made a theme song for the Night Changers as a joke. And then somebody was like, Night Changes is actually a cool title. And then we started, but that just came from real life, and then a title, and then and then someone played it, and then we wrote it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like, man, you know, I want to write a song about my sister who's growing up. That's not how it came. It became that as we got into it. We're like, whoa, this is serious. But it just started out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so the process opened up the idea. The process itself as opposed to like...
Yeah. Sometimes, songs are like children or like people in a way. Like you can try to impress upon a child who they should be or what they should do or what they should think. But ultimately, that entity is gonna just be itself. It's gonna find it. You need to let it find its own way. It's like a plant.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like you can force feed a plant a certain type of, you're gonna take all this sun, or you're gonna take all this water, or you're gonna take all this whatever. But if it's not right for the plant, it'll kill the plant.
Sure.
So you have to let the song sometimes tell you what it wants, and not impose your own will upon the song. Like, we're gonna make a fun song today. Yeah. Maybe it's really trying to come out as a ballad and a sad song.
Sure.
Or maybe like, man, I really want to write this ballad. But you just end up making a fucking club banger.
Yeah.
Like, let it tell you.
You have this, do you feel the tension when, is there ever a time when you feel the tension because someone, like you're in a camp or someone is looking for club bangers?
Of course.
And then you're just like, but a ballad's coming out. What do you want from me?
Of course. Of course. That happens. I mean, that's where that's where the real value of a producer role, or, I mean, it could be a writer that does it or an artist, but one of the roles is being able to try to articulate why we should maybe lean this way, or why, and gently lead people there, or just listen and be like, damn, maybe I'm wrong, and just dude, you know, there's a reason that every song you write isn't a hit, because it's really fucking hard.
It's really hard.
Because sometimes the plant doesn't get to come to full fruition and bear fruit because one person in there, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's somebody else, just fed it too much, clipped it too much, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
If we all knew what we were doing, every song would be a
that's
hit.
right. If there was a real formula to this, right?
Totally.
Then it would be over.
Yeah.
It wouldn't need to new people right in the room. You wouldn't need to sign songwriters and like you could just do it all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really difficult then when there's two forces pulling it two different ways. Sometimes that is what made the thing the thing.
Yeah. So and so this kind of brings me to like collaboration. It's I think you in the beginning of X Factor you were kind of doing it in a silo, mostly on your own, but everything now is very much hinges on collaboration now. And I'm guessing, is that a preference? Is that like...
Yeah, I love collaborating.
Yeah.
Like, I could be sitting there for days going back and forth between, like, which snare sound. And just keep, like, 4 of them in there and just keep unmuting and muting and not make a decision.
Yeah.
But if I have somebody sitting beside me or on the couch back there that I trust... This one or this one? That one? Okay. Yeah. Then I can like move on and move forward and like just be settled with it.
So it's helpful to have.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've produced so much by myself that it's not fun anymore.
It's not as enjoyable. Yeah.
It's not as fun. I like to mix by myself sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a harder thing. People maybe in the background being like, that snare's too loud.
Yeah, I like being around people. I like to shoot the shit. I like to talk about stuff. But some people don't.
Yeah,
fair.
Were you ever on tour with the boys in 1D or did you?
Oh yeah, we wrote most of those and recorded most of that stuff on the road. We'd have to go out on tour with them. Yeah. And get vocals like after the show. And try to catch them on the day off or it was you're just in hotel rooms. Yeah. It was craziness. I mean, freaking armored vehicles, surrounding you on the freeway going to the venue in Brazil.
Right,
and
at that point, they're out of here. They're in the stratosphere.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was like, it was 70,000 people a night. Yeah. There's a song called Olivia, on One Direction's last album called Made in the AM, and it came at the end of the day of a 9-hour day of us writing the worst possible song you could possibly try to write. I mean, we were going for like trying to write like a 9-minute opus. It was me and John and Harry, and being like, we're gonna write, like a Bat Out of Hell kind of like 7-minute.
This plant, this
like a
food.
We're gonna do this, and we are just working all day. Making this song, and we kind of stitch it together. It's all these parts going into one another. This is gonna be epic. And we take a little break, and we come back and we're like, all right, let's listen to it. Press play, and it is just the worst thing ever. And we all are just laughing so hard, like, oh my God, this is terrible. It's like, 5:30, 6:30, whatever. Like, all right, we gotta go.
In the morning.
No. It was like a morning session to the day.
Okay.
Spent all day.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Like, we'll come back tomorrow, whatever. Or it might have been the last day. Yeah. And then I don't know how it happened. Like, we're just cleaning up and somebody was playing music, and then all of a sudden this song Olivia came out in 30 minutes. Just bam! At the end of the day, when we were about to go home, which in a funny way ended up becoming, it's not a magnum opus or anything, but it has strings, horns, like all this amazing orchestration on it. And we ended up kind of writing, it's a totally different song, but we ended up in 30 minutes when we weren't even trying, just the song falling out after just beating our heads against the wall for 10 hours. And it's just wild how that happens. I have a lot of stories about, well, that was a good day, we'll try it tomorrow. And someone's about to walk out the door, and then someone plays a chord and goes, oh, that's pretty cool. What was that? And then, and then it turned into something.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what you're saying before. Just like, you don't know when it's going to come or how it's going to come, right? And you just have to be ready for it, I guess. It's not convenient.
It's not convenient. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Story of My Life popped out in a minute.
Really?
The whole, like, we were just messing around, playing the guitars. We looked around, we were like, this sounds pretty good. And I kind of hit record on my phone. And then I have the voice note of the exact melody of the whole verse, the whole pre-chorus, into Story of My Life. It was there.
Huh.
It just fell out right there. And it was like, okay, what just happened? And then being a professional has to take over. Because that could have easily been, that's cool, let's try something else. Right?
But you're like, we've got to pursue this to the
But
end.
we were like, okay, wait a minute. And then we took that 1 minute voice, then we took that 1 minute voice note, we listened, and then we wrote the rest of the chorus, and then we put the song into Logic, and we went bar by bar and listened to what it sounded like was being sung.
Oh, because it was just a wordless
Because
melody,
it was just
kind
a
of.
wordless melody. I was like, there is something here. What is this? What is this song trying to say? What is emerging here? That's a really wild one.
Yeah, that's one of their biggest hits, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else.
No, this is great, man. It's great. It's great to be in this space. It's great to hear these stories. I feel like I could write a hit now. I feel like I could just.
I feel like I gotta go write one.
I can just go upstairs and just like do it. It doesn't sound that hard. It just.
I wish.
As long as I let it fall out, right? No, amazing.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
This is great.